Boston College Eagles take flight in 2019, hoping to soar to new heights after 3 straight 7-win seasons. One final go-around for Bud Foster in visiting Virginia Tech. The Hokies look to bounce back strong after suffering through their first losing season in a quarter century. Virginia Tech and BC in a key ACC tilt coming up next. Boston College Eagles taking the field here inside Alumni Stadium in front of the home folks. Absolutely gorgeous early fall, late summer day for college football. You know there's going to be a lot of orange and maroon, though, in the stands, too. Hokie fans always travel well also. Hi, everybody. Chris Cotter alongside Mark Herzlich, former Boston College Eagle, so you know a thing or two about opening day here in this stadium. What's it like? What's going through the minds right now of the players as they're about to strap it up?
Well, there's excitement, there's nerves, but most importantly, there's anticipation. They've been waiting for months for this game to happen. Now they're finally here. Those nerves will all go away once that first snap happens and that first hit takes place.
Well, you know, AJ Dillon, Boston American running back, has been waiting too because he was suffering from an ankle injury almost all last year. Wasn't 100%, but he is now, and that's got to be scary for defensive coordinators.
Yeah, it's scary it is. He is an absolute beast. He has the size, 6 foot, 250 pounds. He's got speed to hit the home run ball and run away from you. His vision is really unbelievable. He can see defenders coming, makes them miss with his quickness, and I got to tell you what, him at 100% is going to be a nightmare for defensive coordinators. Oh yeah, and by the way, now he's been working on catching the ball out of the backfield.
He only had 8 catches all of last year. He says he wants to make that a part of his game, and that is scary. You know Bud Foster isn't scared about anything, though. I mean, this guy's been through it all. 33 years as a coach on that sideline for Virginia Tech. He announced his retirement, though, just a few weeks ago. Kelsey Riggs is the 3rd member of our crew. She has more on that story. Kelsey?
Yeah, guys, it's been nearly 1 month since Bud Foster made that emotional announcement that he was going to retire at the end of this season. Since then, it's been business as normal for him, and that's the way he wants it. But I did have a chance to catch up with him on his way into the stadium, and I asked him if there was a moment at all this week, maybe this morning, where he let it sink in that this was going to be his last first game, and he said that there was. It was when he talked to his family and his children, and they told him, "Dad, this is your last first game of your career." And he says for him, it was very emotional. He got a little choked up while we were talking about it because for Bud, being a part of this program for over 3 decades, well, it's not just about him, it's about his family as well. It was a big decision for all of them for him to retire at the end of this season, and obviously a very big decision for this Virginia Tech program as well. The players are trying to keep it out of their heads, but they're definitely playing for Bud this season.
All right, thank you, Kelsey. Boston College won the toss. They elected to receive. Toe meets leather, and we are underway in the 2019 season for both of these teams out of the back of the end zone. There's Brian Johnson's kick, and BC will take over. First time we'll have an opportunity to see not only A.J. Brown, but not only A.J. Dillon, rather, but Anthony Brown, 3-year starter now.
Absolutely, and Anthony Brown impresses me when I watch him. He has the strong arm to make all the plays, but what he lacks is his consistency. He's been working on his fundamentals, his lead foot placement, directing the ball exactly where he wants to go. His completion percentage wasn't terrible last year, but what offensive coordinator Mike Bajakian wants him to do is hit his receivers in stride to gain those extra yards.
Kobe White in motion, the hand to A.J. Dillon. Powers over the right side, picks up about 4 yards before he's brought down by Dax Hollifield. Let's check out the Boston College offense here.
As we look down this list, we got 2 wide receivers, Kobe White, Ben Glines. Ben Glines is kind of like the ultimate warrior. He'll do a little bit of everything. And down the list, we got some young guys, but look for these tight ends to make big plays in this game. They love their 4 starting tight ends.
Brown tried to hook up with White down the right side, could not. Defended nicely that time by Caleb Farley.
Right now, he gets a release off the ball, but Farley's able to get in his hip pocket. He doesn't panic, doesn't turn back to the ball, is able to get his hand and knock it out.
Long 10 for the Eagles here on 3rd down. Their first drive of the game. Brown back to pass, has plenty of time. Flushed out of the pocket now, head downfield, tries to hook up with his tight end. Jake Burt cannot, and BC will be forced to punt.
Well, Bud Foster decided on the first 3rd down of the game to not bring pressure. He wanted to drop his guys back in coverage and give Anthony Brown decisions to make. Right now, as Anthony Brown drops back, he sees linebackers with eyes on him. They have everybody locked down, and right there on the sideline, you have 3 receivers bunched together for BC. That has to change on 3rd down.
Carlson puts his right toe into it. Good punt. Liner picked up by Hezekiah Grimsley. 35. Breaks a few tackles, still on his feet. Can't get him around the 35, though. And that's where Virginia Tech will take over.
Running into the kicker, number 8. Penalty is declined. 1st down.
Patterson, the guilty party on the penalty, was declined. And Virginia Tech will take over from their own 35.
Ryan Willis is the quarterback for this Virginia Tech Hokies offense, and he has been streaky over the past. He will take risks down the field, but he is excited about the playmakers that he has on the outside.
Scared money don't make money. He said that last year after chucking a 45-yard pass downfield against Virginia into coverage and completing the pass. And that's the type of quarterback he is, isn't he? He's a gunslinger. He's not afraid to take chances.
He is a gunslinger. I don't know if I'm going to have him manage my money anytime soon, because I don't like that. I'm a little more risk-adverse in my portfolio.
Good for you. Smart. Wise. First opportunity now to see Ryan Willis. Fires it out in front of the man, but dropped. Tight end Dalton Keene is defended on the play by Joe Sparacchio, who's forced into action in terms of starting today because of the injury to Isaiah McDuffie not starting, and we don't expect to see him today for Boston College. Take a look at the Hokies offense here. We mentioned Ryan Willis. They don't have a bell cow back. Deshaun McLeese will get the start. They'll use several backs, but they do have a very good wide receiver core.
They do have a great receiving core, and they average 6'2" in height. They're big, they're fast, and their tight ends are going to make a difference. Dalton Keene right there on that drop, but he's usually their reliable receiver.
And they're massive on the offensive line, too. Keyshawn King, the freshman, a very exciting freshman for Virginia Tech, gets the carry, but he didn't go very far.
And as we're looking at Keyshawn King get the football, he's a player that when we talked to Coach Fuente last night, he said, watch out for number 35. He has a little bit extra juice to him, something that can really provide an extra spark for this Virginia Tech running game.
Both these teams now getting behind the chains. We saw it with Boston College in their first offensive drive. Now Virginia Tech, 3rd and 10. Willis from the gun. Has time, tries to come this side to Turner. Covered very nicely on the play, and it falls incomplete.
Brandon Sebastian on the coverage there. He's the only returning starter from last year on this BC defensive backfield. And right here, he has good, soft eyes. He's able to get in the hip pocket of Trey Turner and force the ball outside. That's a pass that Ryan Willis has to throw. And really, that was great defense by Brandon Sebastian.
Oscar Bradburn to punt. Low line drive punt. Picked up at the 20-yard line by Levy. Makes a man miss. Gets outside. Dropped at about the 33-yard line, and that's where Boston College will take over. 2 strong defensive stands to open this one. Scoreless early on. Scoreless early in Chestnut Hill. Steve Addazio entering his 7th season as the head coach here at Boston College. 6 of those 7 seasons, or I should say 5 of the 6 previous, 7 wins.
That 7 wins seems like it's been the plateau for Boston College. It's a fantastic mark because you're reaching a bowl game, but it's not enough for Steve Addazio anymore. And right now, wow, Zay Flowers, the true freshman, we need to see that one again.
Caleb Farley knocking him out of bounds, but this is the exciting freshman out of Florida that this Boston College team is so excited about.
And they talked about him giving a spark. Every time we talked to a player, it was, wow, watch Zay.
Quickly going Boston College. They will go tempo. Dillon smashes into the middle, picks up about 1.5 yards.
And one of the ways that Steve Addazio said they were going to break that 7-win mark was to vary up the play calling. Get it outside, then smash up the middle, and that's what you've seen on this 2nd drive.
Fake to Dillon. Rolling out. There's a tight end, wide open. And it was Korab Adreezy on the catch.
And Adreezy's a guy who looks like he's just going to smack you right in the mouth. And don't worry, he will. But he has soft hands. Coach Mike Bajakian said he has some of the softest hands in the team.
Virginia Tech trying to substitute as fast as they can, but Dillon now crashes through the line, spins through, picks up maybe 3 more. Dax Hollifield is there for the stop for the Hokies, but Boston College is moving a little bit. and not wasting any time getting lined up to call another play. Brown goes up top, has his man open. Flowers for the score.
That speed they were talking about all week, all month, all preseason about their freshman, Zay Flowers. He is pumped up right now, and he should be, man. He is exciting, explosive, and right away, they didn't waste any time getting him the ball deep.
Beat Javon Quillen for the score. Boston College's first touchdown of the year. Aaron Bomeri, the transfer from Temple for the PAT, splits the uprights.
And Flowers is excited, and his teammates are excited about it as well. As Zay Flowers goes up, makes a terrific catch in the end zone for the first BC touchdown of the 2019 football season.
Boston College breaks out on top early. 5 plays, 67 yards, highlighted by the 33-yard touchdown catch by Zay Flowers, this freshman out of Fort Lauderdale. They're expecting big things from him.
Protection's good up front. Anthony Brown's able to throw the ball. Perfect shot over the right shoulder on the outside where only his receiver could catch it. And not only did his receiver catch it, the freshman beat the defender down the field with pure speed. Made an unbelievable play. And this is something that gets BC fans excited.
Danny Longman kicking off for Boston College. Sean McLeese from his own 2. Cuts it across the field, won't quite get to the 20 though. Good coverage on that BC special teams. Ryan Willis of Virginia Tech now taking back over. Willis has his receiver open, connects. Sebastian takes down Trey Turner, but not before he gets to the sticks. That's going to be a first down. May have spoke too soon. I'll wait for the officials. It is a first down. How about Turner? Young man, just a sophomore this year, and last year as a freshman had playing time. Big play Turner, but he was a young man that really took on a leadership role for being such a youngster on this team.
He said he was almost forced into that leadership role due to the fact that he just did not agree with the things that were happening in his locker room. He saw players that weren't really giving their effort. They weren't wanting to win. Going so far as telling him, don't catch touchdown passes because we don't want to keep playing into the bowl season. And Trey Turner said, hey, I'm not standing for this. I'm going to be a leader. I'm going to step up and I'm going to say something. And it's impressive for a young guy to be able to do that.
Keyshawn King with the carry, picked up a couple. Kelsey Riggs won the field. What do you got, Kels?
Spoke with him. He talked a lot about his relationship, not just with Ryan Willis, but with all the players and how important it was for this locker room to be close this season. It's something that you could tell they put an emphasis on this offseason.
Willis fakes to King. It's Keene on the little screen, but a great job by Boston College and Brandon Sebastian coming up from that cornerback spot to make the stop.
The first guy there was Joseph Sparacchio, and he's filling in for the injured Isaiah McDuffie. He read that screen, and he went and he took his shot. I've played for defensive coordinators who talk about arrows through snow. When you go and make that first man on the sideline, you want to be that tackler. You put your arrow through snow. Do not stop your feet. That way you won't get juked and make the guy change direction.
3rd and 8 for the Hokies. Boston College showing pressure on the outside. They'll come with it a little bit, flushing out Willis. Will he get to the sticks running for it? I think he will. And he does. It's a first down for Virginia Tech.
And right here you see number 47, freshman Shida Silah. He is actually spying Ryan Willis. But Ryan Willis's athleticism allows him to get outside and actually beat Shida to the sideline. Shida wanted to show the speed he had, but he wasn't able to stop Ryan Willis for getting the first down.
Picks up about 3 yards. 2nd down and 7. Clock winding down, getting close to 5 minutes to go in this first quarter. Again, a beautiful day here at Chestnut Hill. Boston College striking first today. Willis and company trying to mount a drive, looking over to get some calls from the sideline. Willis goes for it all, and he's got a man wide open. That's going to be a touchdown for Virginia Tech. Hezekiah Grimsley was wide open, but behind the defense.
Ryan Willis right here shows his poise in the pocket. He's able to step into the throw, and Hezekiah Grimsley gets behind this young, inexperienced BC secondary.
Tate Haynes was giving chase. Michael Haynes' son, Mike Haynes, who played for the Raiders and the Patriots in the NFL, wasn't able to stay with Grimsley, though.
When we talked to Trey Turner, he said any of our wide receivers can go deep. They can take the top off of this coverage. They took the top off of this coverage on this touchdown, and boy, oh boy, Hezekiah Grimsley in for 6.
There's Hezekiah Grimsley, junior out of Williamsburg, Virginia. 55-yard touchdown catch to even things up in our game here between Virginia Tech and Boston College. Both teams have had success now going up top. Let's see what BC can do on this drive. Brian Johnson kicks it off, leading on his own 3. And gets hammered at the 16-yard line. Brown changing the play, moving Dillon over to his right shoulder. The fake to Dillon. Brown now up top, has a receiver open. It's Flowers again, inside the 50. Makes a move to stay on his feet, and finally dragged down to the 26.
This guy, Zay Flowers, you got to watch out for him. It's almost like you got to know where number 4 is on the field every single time you line up on defense.
And Boston College, again, does not want to waste any time. They hurry downfield. They want to move. He'll be working his way, though, muscling for a couple. Diablo is there on the stop along with Reggie Floyd.
And you talk about how you can keep number 2 AJ Dillon healthy throughout the season. This drive right now, he has not seen the field. And I got to say, they're probably pretty impressed with David Bailey at running back as a second option.
Lowers his shoulder, picks up a couple. He'll bring up 3rd and 6 as we get to the final half minute of this first quarter. Alan Tisdale there for the stop for the Hokies.
And the Virginia Tech Hokies have done a good job of stopping the run so far. There haven't been any big plays, any gashing plays. But Boston College is trying to figure out how to get the ball in their playmakers' hands other ways.
Brown from the gun, has time. Had a receiver but shot it wide. Waller on the coverage that time. Jermaine Waller for Virginia Tech. There's still 5 seconds left to go here in this first quarter. 3rd down and 6. I apologize, 4th down.
Third down has been plaguing Boston College, and I don't know whether they thought they might catch the defense off guard by going for it, trying to squeeze that play in before the end of the quarter. But it seemed a little bit rushed, and that's what happens when you get incomplete passes and you're not all on the same page.
Hezekiah Grimsley makes the fair catch at his own 12. That's where Ryan Willis and company will take over when we come back to the first quarter of play in the 2019 season here for BC and Virginia Tech, all tied at 7 apiece. BC 7, Virginia Tech 7 as we head to the second quarter here at Alumni Stadium, Chestnut Hill. Both teams have used big plays in the passing game as really the only offense they've been able to muster up, even with AJ Dillon at that tailback spot for BC. The running games just have not been on target. Hokies again starting from deep inside their own territory. Willis out of the gun, tries to connect and does to Turner. Haynes is there on the stop, but Turner's able to make a big gain out of it and pick up a 1st down.
Trey Turner starts this route out by giving a little double move at the top of his break, gets inside the cover 2 defender. Once you get inside there, there's no one until the hash, and Ryan Willis is able to find him on that quick slant.
Holston split wide, empty backfield for Willis. He tries to hit a receiver over the top. That's a beautiful play. Tate Haynes coming over on coverage. But the ruling is that's going to be a catch by Caleb Smith.
And look at this catch. Look at this concentration as he's going to the ground. It looks like he gets the hand underneath.
Yeah, the ball's moving around, but I think he keeps possession of it.
I don't think it moves enough to be out of his possession.
Outstanding catch by Caleb Smith. Getting Virginia Tech out of trouble. Here's Turner again. In open space. Tripped up, but not after a gain of about 9 yards. Check out Willis here getting drilled on that last pass play. Knew it was coming too.
And they love his toughness, but oh boy. John Lamont just put his shoulder right down the chest blade of Ryan Willis. He got back up, threw the ball next play.
Holston is able to pick up the first down through the middle. Give Bennerman on the stop, but not before we move the chains once again.
And now Virginia Tech's going hurry up. They're going no huddle. And they, just like Boston College, have played with 2 tight ends most of this drive.
Freshman Keyshawn King now in the backfield. He'll take the handoff. Finds room to run too. Well, it's a Virginia Tech team that had 3 first downs in the whole first quarter. They have 3 on this drive, and they're moving the football on the ground.
Well, they are. I think they were feeling out a little bit of what to expect from this Boston College defense and how they could get Keyshawn King the ball in his hands. That last run, you saw that burst up the middle by Keyshawn King. He's electric.
Least now in the backfield with Willis. That's King, rather. Tries to go underneath to his tight end, Keene. And a nice play by John Lamont to knock it away.
And John Lamont's playing this Mike linebacker position, filling in for Connor Strahan, who left the team last year and now is playing in the NFL, hoping to make a team. But John Lamont has played previously. He's a junior, he's a leader. He suffered a little bit of a stinger in training camp, but he is on fire in coverage tonight.
Big third down for the Hokies. 3rd down and 3.
Lamont showing pressure up that right edge.
Willis over the middle, hits his receiver. That's a first down.
Talking to Dalton Keene, the star tight end for this team, he told me that he thought James Mitchell, number 82, who just made that catch, is the real deal. He lined up at that X position on the boundary side of the formation and beat a very good corner on the inside route.
Holston is man at the line of scrimmage, tries to spin away from it. He cannot. And Marcus Valdez and company were there to stop him for a loss.
Valdez was all over that play. Let's see how he got there. He just burnt right off the edge of the offensive lineman moving upfield. No one accounted for him. He was actually the read player on that, so that's on Ryan Willis. He needs to see the defensive end crashing down, pull that, and get out in front of his lead blocker.
Mitchell's motion this time. Willis looking his way. Over the top. Hits his receiver for a score. That's Tavian Robinson, the freshman, giving Virginia Tech the lead.
All right, let's look at this route by 82 on the left-hand side of your screen. He did a double move, which brought in number 34, the linebacker, and put a one-on-one with Mike Palmer, the newly starting safety. He didn't have any of it. Tavion Robinson, the true freshman, got a touchdown.
Ryan Johnson with the PAT. It's good. And the Hokies, who trailed early here in Chestnut Hill, and put 2 touchdown drives together. They lead. Freshman Tavian Robinson making the touchdown grab, giving Virginia Tech the 14-7 lead here early in the second quarter. Ryan Johnson will kick off for the Hokies, and we'll get another opportunity to see Boston College and AJ Dillon what he can do, although it hasn't been much So far today, that Bud Foster defense has done a really good job of bottling him up. Levy waits for it in his own 6. Near side, dropped at the 25, and that's where we will see Boston College take over. Brown has time. He's had time all day long. There's one again. Picking up another first down.
And Khalil Ladler was on that coverage, and the only reason he's in the game is because Divine Diablo was out. Khalil Ladler was a starter last year, got beat out by Chamari Connor for that whip position, but now he's put in stress position covering this big, fast tight end.
Dillon gets lost in the pile. Tries to come out of it, can't, picks up maybe 4 yards.
And that's why covering these tight ends is so difficult for an undersized safety. We have Hunter Long standing at 6'5", 255. If he can get his body in front of his defender, it gives so much area for AJ Brown to throw the ball.
Bailey out of the backfield. Brown has time. It's Long again. He's found a connection with this tight end. Reggie Floyd is there for the stop, but pick up a big chunk of that penalty yards back. It's 2nd down and 1.
When we talk about this tight end group, we talk about kind of their Fab Four. And Hunter Long is the only guy who on that group who's not a senior. Seems to be a little bit quieter than the big personalities of Christian Garrison, Jake Burt, Crab Adreezy. But I guess what? He is showing his personality on the field right now.
Lines in motion. Bailey takes the handoff. Shoestring tackle that time, maybe saving a touchdown. Ladler was there, as was Eli Adams for Virginia Tech.
And BC got the first down. They needed to get that first down. Too often they've gotten in this area of the field and either had to go for it or miss a field goal. They got this on the ground.
Bailey stays in the game for BC. They hand it to him on the edge. Big number 72 out in front. Eric Lindstrom blocking for him, but he isn't able to pick up much.
And AJ Dillon's checking back into the game. It's going to be 2nd down. AJ Dillon is deep in the backfield. Look for him to get one of these zone plays to try to get him to bounce to the edge on a run play.
Flowers in motion. No room there, but now he bounces it back outside, keeps his feet, and he'll score.
They were trying to get AJ Dillon the ball on a zone to bounce to the edge. AJ Dillon had different plans. And his plan said, I'm going to go around the other way. You watch him here. He sees this defensive line pushing his offensive line back. He says, okay, I'm going to go the other direction. Beats Rashard Ashby into the end zone. And that right there, that's what makes this guy special. It's not always about the speed or the power, but his vision and knowledge that he can bounce back the other way, gain yards, and have a positive play.
Bulmeri splits the uprights, 14 all here in the 2nd quarter. Dillon finally getting untracked, finding the end zone for his first score of 2019. Dillon drinks applesauce.
I gotta say, I love some good applesauce too. What's your favorite kind of applesauce?
Oh, well, Mott's, but yeah, I don't drink it out of like a liter bottle. That's amazing.
Would you try? I would try.
If it's like Popeye and spinach, and I get to be like AJ Dillon, yeah, I would drink me some Mott's applesauce.
Exactly. Well, AJ Dillon is the sauce, and you did some sauce right there to get in the end zone.
Let's see how Virginia Tech now and Ryan Willis can counter. The fake out here to the outside. Robinson, ball bouncing around, falls incomplete. Brandon Sebastian came up to make the play. That's the young man who just caught the touchdown. And it was, I guess there was some question as to whether it was forward, but it was incomplete pass.
And here you'll see right here at the end of the play the hit by Brandon Sebastian low. But I got to tell you what, he beat his blocker, made a play. That's a perfectly legal hit.
Little option play. McLeese has some room. Picks up about 7 before Nolan Borgerson is there to drop him.
Richard Yergin, number 2, transferred defensive end, has the quarterback, gets the ball forced pitched, but number 34, linebacker Joseph Sparacchio, was not able to get off his block to get the pitch man, who's his responsibility.
3rd down and a long 7 now for Virginia Tech. Crowd starting to get into it here at Alumni Stadium. We're in the end where the students are. Jalen Holston now out of the backfield. Pressure to fumble. Picked up by Boston College.
Marcus Valdez comes up with the ball, but it was Tate Haynes coming off the boundary corner that forced that fumble. Let's take a look at it again.
Illegal formation. Time in the backfield. Penalties decline. Ruling on the play on the field is a fumble recovered by Boston College. First down.
And another look at this, you see a stunt game up front. Virginia Tech had gone into a max protect formation to chip both DNs, but what that did was allow Tate Haynes to sneak inside to force that ball out, and Marcus Valdez was on the spot to pick it up, and that is a huge play for Boston College.
And sets him up deep in Virginia Tech territory. They'll scrimmage 1st and 10 from the 17. Dillon takes the handoff. Just gets to the line of scrimmage, maybe picks up a yard before Rayshard Ashby is there, the rook, to bring him down. Rayshard Ashby carrying the lunch pail this week. There's a good look at him. Young man out of Chesterfield, Virginia.
That lunch pail is such a cool tradition that Bud Foster started back in 1995. Really is an honor that these guys feel being carried all week.
That's his receiver, Levy, just couldn't hang on to it. Looked like there may have been a little confusion by the Boston College receivers, 2 of them in the same area before Levy was able to break out, but he may have been able to squeeze this one.
And Chris, I think you're right. The outside receiver was a little bit too close to the hash, which allowed his defender to fall off and play that ball from outside in and knock it away.
3rd down. White in the end zone. Touchdown!
What a throw by Anthony Brown. This is not an easy throw. You're throwing a fade ball into the front corner of the end zone. He has to target that front pylon on that outside number of the receiver. What a perfect placement of that ball. Now let's see.
The touchdown is under further review.
If he got his foot down, it looks like he got that front foot down. The second foot was out of bounds, but let's see if he had possession when that front foot went down. Possession, I see front foot down.
You can't really see that from that angle, whether it hits white or green. Look at this angle.
Possession, down.
This foot right here, I see. Kicks up a little bit. Kicked up a little bit of those black pellets. Replay official Andrew Panucci is looking at this as we speak.
But look at the placement of this football on that outside number right at that front pylon, and allows his receiver to either catch the ball or nobody catch the ball. That's something that Anthony Brown has done a good job of, is not throwing too many interceptions over his career, but Kobe White's concentration, his ability to control the ball all the way to the ground and get that foot down.
Kobe White, one of these 3 players, along with AJ Dillon and Anthony Brown, all juniors, came in together. Staples of this Boston College offense. Mary with the point after try. It's good. Boston College in a seesaw affair. We got a good one here. 6:20 left to go in the first half. It's BC now that goes out on top. Kobe White with the great catch and score. 2 touchdowns in 1:32 to retake the lead over Virginia Tech here with 6:20 left to go in the first half. Chestnut Hill. So a back and forth affair, and the offense is exploded a little bit here in the second quarter as Longman kicks off to Robinson, the freshman. He scored earlier in the game on a pass reception. Runs into his own man, but now gets outside. 25, uses his stiff arm, dropped at about the 29. Fumble. The official's going to say he's down, so Virginia Tech will retain possession. We talked about White and Dillon and Brown, that trifecta. With more on that crew from BC, let's send it down to Kelsey Riggs.
Well, those 3 guys are definitely the leaders here on this Boston College team, and I got to talk to them a little bit yesterday about what that means for them to be here 3 years together and now be really leading this team. They told me there was a moment their freshman year when they were playing against FSU that they were watching the game back and they saw their names come across the screen as the leading passer, the leading receiver, and the leading rusher. And they said that was a really special moment, one that stuck with them and one that they want to continue to build on that success as they try and be successful this year at Boston College.
All right, thanks, Kels. Freshman Keyshawn King on the reception there before Brandon Sebastian is able to bring him down. Ball did come loose, but the ruling on the field was that King was down, and in the end, it's a pickup of 3 yards. King again, this time to fake. Lewis has it. He's not afraid to run the football. He got a design run, but he can't quite get to the edge. And he's brought down after a pickup of maybe 4 yards. That's a good run for 4 yards.
It's a great run for 4 yards. It's also a great job by Joseph Sparaccio, their Sam linebacker, staying on the outside, and he's able to keep leverage on his receiver to force Ryan Willis to bump outside. Tate Haynes came in, but you saw some missed tackles, and that's what Steve Adazio had some concern about because there's so little tackling in preseason anymore. How will this guy's fare tackling in the big stage?
3rd and 3 for the Hokies. Willis sprints right. Pump fakes. Tries to get it himself and cannot. Pushed out of bounds heavily. Virginia Tech fans wanted a flag. It doesn't look like they're going to get it. Kiev Betterman eventually ran him out. Take a look at it.
Let's take another look at it. It's a very close call, but Kiev Betterman, I think he sees Ryan Willis advancing. The toe was technically out of bounds. I think it's the right call. I'm also a defender. I gotta say, that was the right call.
Not on the side, on the quarterback side, unless it's egregious.
Very tough to do that.
Levy with the fair catch at his 21 makes. Bailey bounces it outside, runs through an arm tackle, picks up about 5. Javon Becton is there for the stop for Virginia Tech. It's an interesting 1-2 punch. Both Dillon and Bailey are big backs. Again, gets ahead of steam. Gets out close to the yard marker for the first down to gain. Ashby there to knock him out, but picking up some chunks. It'll bring up 3rd and 1.
That's got to be tough for a defense, too. You gear up all week to tackle AJ Dillon. Say he's so hard, so big, so tough. Well, then he sits out on the bench, and now you got to tackle another big, hard, tough guy.
6-1-2. That time Brown overshooting C.J. Lewis. Waller on the coverage. Now it'll bring up 4th down. So with 2.5 minutes left to go, Virginia Tech's going to get the ball back.
They are, and they've shown their big play ability. They got a couple first downs in the last time, or 2 times ago that they had the ball. Last time they got nothing. So they want to try to put together a drive here. Hopefully for them, they get to go out right as the half is ending and not give Boston College another opportunity with the football.
Hezekiah Grimsley back to receive this punt. Fumbles the football, muffs it. It's loose, and Boston College has fallen on it. That is a huge turn of events with 2.5 minutes left to go in this first half.
And this is what we talk about when we talk about Beamer ball. It's about special teams, and you heard the ref confirming that it's Boston College ball, but you got to focus on the football. The #1 job of the punt returner is to get the ball back to the offense. He tried to do a little bit too much on that play. Not in position, catches the ball away from his body, and Boston College is right there to recover. And now Boston College has 2 minutes and 23 seconds driving in to get another touchdown before this half.
2 timeouts, 2nd turnover of the day for Virginia Tech, both deep in their own territory. Brown has wide open, makes the catch. No, can't make the catch. Initially had it, Reggie Floyd dislodged the ball from him. And that's why Reggie Floyd wears #1. Boy, they needed that play.
Reggie Floyd shows his range on this play and his physicality as he comes across all the way to the corner of the end zone. He lays out, gives that extra effort, which gave him that #1 jersey. He will put it all out on the line for his team. He did there on that play and saved a touchdown.
Brown keeps it. The fake to Dillon. He's got a lot of room in front of him. Inside the 10 for the score.
Brown has shown today already he can beat you through the air, and now he shows his running ability. He puts it on the ground. He takes it all the way himself and uses his speed. There was not a Virginia Tech defender in sight. He walked into the end zone.
2 Boston College touchdowns off of 2 Virginia Tech turnovers here in the second quarter. That's the difference. Bull Mary splits the uprights on the point after try. They'll ring the bell here in celebration. It's a 14-point lead. And Boston College converted 2 Virginia Tech turnovers into touchdowns earlier in the half. 28-14 our score. Coach Fuente, there you see, imploring his team to improve upon that effort in the second half. Down 2 scores. They'll get the kickoff when we come back. Kelsey Riggs is now with the Boston College head coach.
Coach, you said the key to the success this season with your program was Anthony Brown. What have you seen from him in this first half?
Yeah, I think Anthony's playing well. He's playing hard. He's been a great leader on the sideline. I think all our guys are playing hard. You know, we've have had a few more penalties than we'd like right now. We had a turnover that we were able to get back on top of inside the red zone with the penalties. But all in all, I think we played really right now. We've got to hang on to that.
Headed into this game, everybody knew who AJ Dillon was. Zay Flowers has really shown out. What'd you like, what you saw from your freshman receiver?
Well, he's an explosive guy, and we knew he was. He came in and had a jet sweep that was explosive, and then a couple of big plays down the field with the throw game. I mean, he can get behind the coverage. He's a dynamic guy.
Coach, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Coach Adazio. Kelsey, our halftime score. Boston College 28, Virginia Tech 14. After the break, we'll be back with Jordan Cornette, my dude, back in the studio with the State Farm halftime report. 28-14, our halftime score here in Chestnut Hill. Boston College with the lead over Virginia Tech as we get ready for the start of the second half. Chris Cotter alongside Mark Herzlich here at Alumni Stadium. Maybe we thought we'd see some fireworks in that first half. I didn't know if we'd see them through the air. Almost 450 yards passing combined between these two teams.
I know, and we thought we would see him on the ground for Boston College. We had an explosion from Zay Flowers and true freshman Tavion Robinson. They went off in this first half. Anthony Brown, though, is the guy who is the difference maker for this Boston College offense. They are the reason why the Eagles are ahead 2 scores. Anthony Brown, 258 passing yards.
Yeah.
Doing it through the air, on the ground. He's been absolutely unbelievable. As we talked about earlier in this game, he's the difference for Boston College to be able to get more than 7 wins this season. If he keeps playing like he is today, Boston College will be eyeing that 8, 9, 10 win mark.
Well, you mentioned some of these receivers. Tavion Brown, one of them for Virginia Tech, watches the kick sail over his head for a touchback. There's a good look at Brown. He's going to get a chance to watch Willis and company at the start of this second half, though, and we'll see what Virginia Tech can do with their first offensive possession. 3 turnovers in that first half, really their undoing. 2 of them led to Boston College scores. One of them at the end of the first half prevented any points for Virginia Tech.
And that really halted any momentum that Virginia Tech had driving down that field. Now can they regain that momentum and make some plays here on first down to make a short second down?
Willis out to Turner. Gets it into his hands. It's what they want to do. Now Turner looked like he came up maybe a little lame on that play. Tate Haynes was there to make the stop, but Turner, to your point, you saw it right away. He did not go down very well at the end of that play, and he's holding that left hamstring that he hurt in the first half.
Yeah. And right here as he starts to make that break, he pulls up, and he just went down. He's such a quick player, but you see his head drop, and then he just needs to go down. He can't do it anymore, and that's a shame to see from a player who we were so impressed with. Speaking of him, seeing him play on the field.
Hokies were able to pick up a first down on the play, so Willis now without Turner in the game, back to pass, completes it over the middle. Grimsley had the touchdown catch in that first half, makes the grab and another first down.
Their options become a little bit more limited with Trey Turner on the sidelines. Right now they got Grimsley in and number 80, Caleb Smith.
We'll see more of Caleb Smith. We'll see Tavon Robinson, the freshman, the true freshman. We saw a lot of in that first half. The handoff to McLeese. Just tries to burrow his way, stays on his feet. Good hard running by McLeese to pick up about 5. Here's Turner just trying to walk it off. Boston College smelled that one out. Thanks, Kels. Tate Haynes and company dropping King for a loss.
Oh, Mike Palmer came off that weak side edge, and he knew that he was going to be facing a run. This was a run blitz called, and watch him creep up. He's coming down off the edge, and right out of the left side of your street, bam. Hits the running back low. Keyshawn King, welcome to big-time college football.
TJ Raham also on the stop from his nose tackle position, and now presents yet another 3rd and 3. Seems like Virginia Tech has been in this 3rd and 3 situation a number of times today.
BC showing blitz again at the bottom of your screen. See if they'll come or if they'll drop back to coverage. If they do come.
McLeese is there to help pick it up. Now Willis is in trouble. He's flushed out of the pocket, but he'll run for it. Right at the stick. I think he might have enough to get it. He does. First down for Virginia Tech. That's the 2nd time today we've seen Willis, when the play breaks down, he uses his legs to get that first down.
And as this rush comes off the edge, you see 47 freshman gets stuck on that block on the outside. He isn't able to get his arms free to shed and come back in on the quarterback. Ryan Willis sees that open lane, gets the first down.
I spoke too soon. They did not give him the first down. It's 4th down. And there's no hesitation here from Fuente and company. Cornelson, the offensive coordinator, they're going for it.
For the lead.
Willis keeps it, puts his head down, picks up the first down easily.
This is their bread and butter on 4th and really short. They fake that jet sweep and do a lead play with the quarterback right up the middle. They have enough confidence in their senior quarterback to get that 1 yard on his own.
Justin Fuente trying to encourage his troops, down 14 here in the 2nd half. With the fake to McLeese. He's going to go up top. He has a receiver open in the end zone, and it's intercepted. A great play by Brandon Sebastian to pick it off, and the ball back to Boston College.
What a play by Brandon Sebastian. He's able to go underneath a poorly thrown ball by Ryan Willis and take advantage, come up with a gigantic interception. Controlled the ball all the way down to the ground. I mean, this is just huge. Saved the touchdown. Big turnover for a Boston College defense that's been number 2 in the country over the past few years at interceptions. They get another 2 tonight so far. They're on a roll.
Sebastian had 2 interceptions last year, gets his first of the year here in 2019, game 1, and gets his offense back out on the field.
Jet sweep, possibly.
Good call on that one. Flowers gets it along the left side. He's only able to pick up a couple before being run out of bounds. This Boston College offense back onto the field. 14-point lead in this game. They talked in the offseason. When we talked to them earlier this week, they talked about the body language that they exhibited last year in the Purdue game. Look at the score of this one, 30-7. Brown, Dillon, body language dejected. They said, hey, we can't do that anymore to our teammates. We're leaders now.
Yeah, no, they knew that it wasn't just enough to play well on the field. They also had to be leaders and act like leaders. They have a picture of that clip in their phones that they look at occasionally, reminding themselves of what kind of leaders they need to be and can be for this Boston College team.
Well, nothing Brown could do on that one. Sacked by Jared Hewitt and a whole slew of Hokies. Kelsey, what more do you have on that?
Well, you guys alluded to it a little bit, but there's a screen grab that they actually took. They were watching that Purdue game together, and they saw themselves in the way they looked so dejected on the sidelines. They said they don't want to just be leaders in what they do on the field. They want to be leaders on the sidelines as well, and body language is a big part of it. That photo stuck with them so much that they saved it. AJ Dillon says he looks at it every day.
Brown on 3rd down, forcing a pass. Almost picked off. Lucky it wasn't. He was trying to hit his tight end, Hunter Long, over the middle. It'll bring up 4th down.
And it should have been picked off. Rayshard Ashby read the play perfectly. He saw Hunter Long breaking in towards the hash and just undercut that throw. That was forcing it into coverage, something that Anthony Brown cannot do right now. He's had too good of a game. He's been too consistent. Don't force it into coverage. You're up by 2 scores. Continue to play smart. That should have been thrown to a check down.
Grant Carlson in the punt. Pressure coming. They don't get to him. End over end kick. Not great. Hezekiah Grimsley's just going to let it bounce. It does take a BC roll, though, and be touched dead at about the 41-yard line. That's where Virginia Tech will take over, trailing by 2 scores. Love it. McLeese trying to dance around pressure. He's all over the place with Boston College tacklers, and he can't get back to the line of scrimmage. Maximilian Richardson, TJ Ram, and pretty much everybody else on that defense.
Right here, TJ Ram gets up through the middle of this defense. He's a player that they talk about as a young, unproven guy, but he has some big playability. He just got up there, penetrated into that line of scrimmage. Kind of reminds me of a guy that I used to play with, BJ Raji, who would push the offensive line back and get in those little gaps, disrupt the run play.
I don't know if he can dance as well as BJ Raji, though. Was it State Farm commercials? I don't remember which ones.
So he was a double check guy, I think.
Oh, double check, that's it. So after the loss, they'll get another one.
Ooh. Boy.
Joey Luchetti off his end position, jumps Willis. 2 big defensive plays for Boston College, moving Virginia Tech in the wrong direction.
Joey Luchetti's an interesting guy, too. He's a 6'6", 260-pound guy coming off that left edge, and he's just completely unblocked. I don't know whether it's miscommunication or a miscount by the offensive line, but Joey Luchetti started his career here at Boston College as a tight end. He put on 15 pounds and moved to the defensive side of the ball. Looks like it's paying off as he's getting his first start at DN tonight, coming up with a big sack.
3rd and forever for Willis. He has time. The pocket now collapsing, but he gets it off to his man, and Grimsley makes the catch, and he's got a first down.
And as much of a high as BC defense was just riding, all the wind is taken out of their sails with that huge completion, and Ryan Willis threw an absolute dart. Look at this ball go. He throws like a 92-mile-an-hour fastball right there, right to his receiver, right in front of the sticks.
King, carry, screws through a little hole, picks up maybe 5.
Virginia Tech's just moving methodically right now. They had a couple plays that backed them up, but they were able to get back on track. And right now, with 2nd and 6, the entire playbook is open.
And they've done this before. They just shot themselves in the foot a couple of times. Nice cutback by the freshman. Keyshawn King picks up another first down before Sparacchio was there to bring him down. They're moving.
And let's look at this run play. This is what I'm talking about in terms of creativity. They take the offensive guard and the offensive tackle from the right-hand side, pull him around to the left, hand the ball off to Keyshawn King, going to the right. He stops, comes back to his left. It totally messes up the eyes of the defenders, especially at that linebacker level.
Going back to King. This time forced out of bounds. Paul Theobald making the stop after a gain of maybe a yard. Well, this is also given Bud Foster's defense a rest. We talked about that with the 3 and out down here, and now they get a long offensive drive.
And they're taking a little bit more time in between plays. They were doing a lot of hurry up early, and I think there was some miscommunication. Now they're slowing it down, getting on track.
Willis. Keene. Well, battles his way close to that first down marker. I thought they were going to drop him short, but he carried John Lamont and company close to the sticks, and it looks like they're going to give him the first down. Great individual effort.
He just keeps driving his feet. Let's see if his knee goes down early. I don't think so. I think he just drives, gets that first down, and then chains move. Now it's 1st and goal at the 10. We talked to Justin Fuente. It was a red zone percentage that he really wanted to improve on. And Ryan Willis's best pass, in my opinion, is the fade ball on the outside in the red zone. He can hit the back shoulder or get his wide receiver up top.
BC comes with pressure, but he finds his receiver in the end zone, and it's a score. James Mitchell, the tight end, hauls it in, and Virginia Tech is right back into this thing.
Well, Virginia Tech's offensive coordinator obviously sees a weakness in that middle of their defense. When they've gotten down inside the red zone, back-to-back times, they've run this skinny post with their inside receiver. Last time, James Mitchell was a little bit too wide, allowing Joseph Sparacchio to intercept the pass. This time, he stayed on his landmark, caught the ball right on the hash where he needed to be. And to me, That is a good adjustment by a young tight end, and that shows promise. He went over to the sidelines, and his coach said, hey, look, you need to be on your mark. Your quarterback will give it to you. Ryan Willis was able to deliver it this time. Touchdown, Hokies.
Thank you, my man. Jordan Cornette back in studio. We got a game here, folks. Virginia Tech just scoring to make it a 7-point game. Here's Travis Levy shaking up on the last kickoff return. He was able to bring this one back to about the 28. That's where BC will take over.
Chris, 28-21, we got a game on our hands. And Boston a little stale on offense in this second half. Defense is giving up some big plays. Hokies might be on a roll. We got to see how this one's going to go this series. This is a defining moment for Boston College offense. Can they bounce back, and can their leaders have that great body language that they talked about as their leadership?
Brown keeps it after the fake to Dillon. He'll pick up a couple. This is a Virginia Tech defense now that's had some rest. Their offense has had the ball almost the entire third quarter, which is exactly, it's really the opposite of what we saw, especially in the second quarter when Brown was having so much effect through the air for Boston College. And fake to Flowers. He's looking to hit Dillon. Now comes back to his tight end behind the play, but Ashby is there to dump Burt, and now it's a big third down here. If you're BC, you don't want to put your defense right back out there, do you?
No, you don't. This is a huge third down. You got to extend this drive, give the defensive rest. They're still sitting on the bench talking to their coaches. They need a little extra break.
3rd and 5 for Brown. Surveys the field, has time, cannot connect with his tight end as Reggie Floyd is there to break it up. And it looks like Virginia Tech may get the ball back.
And we're talking about a defense that might be tired or sluggish on the sidelines. What you don't want to see is a hurry-up offense, because you go 1, 2, 3, and 25 seconds ran off the clock that entire possession. And that defense is sucking wind, and now they got to go back out and defend a red-hot Hokie offense.
And Grant Carlson could use a big punt right here for Boston College. Good punt. Drives Grimsley right back to his 22. That's where he makes the fair catch. Virginia Tech back with the football, trailing by 7 when we come back.
BC's coming, showing pressure off this bottom edge.
It's Paul Theobaldi backs out. And he's there to make the stop, though. Hits King at the line of scrimmage. King rolls for maybe a couple of yards. They'll bring up 2nd down and 8. Kelsey has more on Richard Yergin.
Yeah, guys, you talked a little bit about that car accident. When he got in it, he woke up, his neck was broken in 3 places. He was on paralysis watch for 3 days, and he said the first thing he asked the doctor is, when will I be able to play football again? Well, they, of course, told him he had to make sure he could walk first, make sure he'd be okay. Now he is back 2 years later playing football. He said there was definitely some anxiety and nerves headed in this game, but he wants to inspire others that they can get back no matter what happens.
Yeah, it's an amazing story. Again, finding Patterson close to the marker, but he came back a little bit, which means he'll bring up about 3rd and a yard and a half. Mehdi El-Atrak was there to make the stop.
And yeah, I mean, talk about inspiring. He's a guy who not only went through something terrible that was going to diverge him on his path, his dream that he probably had from a little kid. And what was his response? It wasn't just, I need to play again. It was, let me help inspire others know that they can be just like me and come back. It doesn't matter what anyone tells you. You can do what you've always dreamed to do.
1 quarter left to go. We got a good one here in Chestnut Hill. Homestanding Eagles lead by 7 heading into the 4th quarter. Mark Herzlich, Kelsey Riggs, Chris Cotter here at Alumni Stadium. What we see here, 3rd down and 3. Big 3rd down for Virginia Tech. What do you think we got?
Yeah, this is a lot of times Virginia Tech's going to keep the ball in their quarterback's hands. Let Ryan Willis run the ball with some lead blocks in front of him. You see the jet sweep here, look for him to pull it and keep it right in the middle.
You're exactly right on, my man. He faked it to Robinson, kept it, and they pick up the 1st down.
There's a reason why they run that a lot, because it works. It tends to work a lot. Ryan Willis is good at putting that ball out there, faking that jet sweep right up the middle.
Good news for Virginia Tech. That man right there, Trey Turner, back in the game. He's had that hamstring issue really going back to the 2nd quarter.
Max protect formation. Look for a 3-receiver route down the field.
McLeese now behind. Willis takes the handoff deep, and he gets dropped for a loss. John Lamont just came flashing in from that middle linebacker spot.
And John Lamont read this play. He saw the running back shift into the dot. He's right here, and as this play progresses, he just fires his gap, makes a great move on the offensive guard who's coming out to block him, dips underneath, is in the backfield for the tackle.
Willis, here comes pressure, dumps it off, and it's intercepted! What a great interception by Tanner Crawford!
And Tanner Carafa gets in on the mix in the interceptions. He makes a great pick. We've had an interception by a defensive back, by a linebacker, and now by a defensive tackle.
The 5th turnover of the game for Virginia Tech, and this one is costly again here in the 4th quarter as they give it back to Boston College in their own territory.
Ryan Willis here feels like he has a perfect setup, but Tanner Carafa reads the soft block by number 77, the left tackle. Willis is in absolute disbelief. He goes, what just happened? That was perfect. Well, my man, we had another man playing that perfect, Tanner Carafa.
Boston College now ahead by a touchdown with the football. They're going to try Zay around the right side. And he squirts his way around the defense. Flowers maybe picked up the first down before Diablo was there to knock him out of bounds. No, they say he stepped out after a gain of about 7.
And that's a great play call by Boston College. They fake the toss one way, get Zay Flowers going the other way.
Now you got a fullback here ahead, number 2, who gets... Bailey will take the handoff. Keeps his feet, shows his athletic ability. He'll pick up a first down. Waller makes the stop. They'll stay with Bailey. This is the first time we've seen this Boston College offense with any type of effectiveness here in the second half.
And you look at the difference in yardage between first half and second half, and that's really a testament to Bud Foster and his defensive style of coaching. He is such a great in-game adjuster. He goes in at halftime and he says, look, this is what we need to stop. This is what we need to take away. And he makes those adjustments. And I got to say, I don't know if I've seen a lot of number 4 in the second half, but he was the one who was beating them all first half.
He's in motion up at the top of your screen now, staying on the ground with Bailey. He's just powering his way into that pile. Hollifield is there with some others, but a gain of another couple of yards. Dillon back in. And how about this? You've been pounded on now by David Bailey for 3 or 4 plays. You get a fresher Dillon in there in that backfield.
Yeah, and not only get a fresher Dillon, there was an opportunity to sub some new defensive linemen in there for exactly that reason. But we look at the Virginia Tech's ability in this second half to really bounce back from some of the offensive mistakes that were made. And they, so far, up into this drive, have been able to limit Boston College's mobility on offense.
But now the clock continues to wind down. BC already up a score. Clock winding, under 9 minutes left to go in this game. And Dillon is churning out yards at 3, 4, 5 a clip. Flowers in motion. The give to Dillon. Bounces it outside. Stiff arms. Keeps on his feet. And one man, Javon Beckton, saved the touchdown.
Yeah, this is absolutely ridiculous. Watch AJ Dillon spin, and he spins and has vision to know that someone's coming to tackle him, gets the stiff arm, pushes him down the ground, bounces off, keeps his balance. Like, that is unbelievable. That's why he's in the Heisman conversation.
Now Bailey gives him a spell. Got a fullback in the game for Boston College. Bailey with the carry, slams it in the line, dives for the end zone. Well, they're going to rule him down at the 1-yard line.
It was close. The question is whether his knee hits the ground or his elbow hits the ground before the ball crosses the plane. Let's take a look right here. As he's diving, he's got his hand on the ground. That's okay. Knee down. I don't think he extended the ball over.
Bailey again. This time he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Boston College.
What a day for David Bailey. Coming into this game, all the talk was about AJ Dillon. And last year, it was Travis Levy who had 2 huge runs for touchdowns in the second half of the game against Virginia Tech to give Boston College the win. This year, David Bailey is the one who steps up, gets a touchdown to cap off that drive.
Blueberry with the PAT. BC again extends their lead to 14. Thanks to this grinding out ground game. First it was AJ Dillon getting him down there. David Bailey finishes it off. Eagles by 2 scores. BC back up 14 thanks to an old school meathead kind of a drive. That last drive right there, eschewing the passing game. They were just going to ram it down Virginia Tech's throats, and it worked.
And that's old school BC football. They got in 2 back sets, let their running backs pound it up the middle, and that offensive line just drove their feet, picking up 1 yard after another. And the running backs kept their balance and were able to maneuver to get those extra yards. And AJ Dillon with an incredible spin move, stiff arm, getting down to the 1 yard line.
David Robinson back to receive this kick. Takes it at his 2 yard line. 15. And he's tackled right there by Mehdi Al-Atrak. Kelsey, what do you got for us?
Well, when we talked to Steve Adazio yesterday, he told us that the openers are really important to him, just like every game, but they're going to win at all cost, and that, of course, means they're not saving A.J. Dillon. As we've seen, the good news is they don't have to. They have a guy like David Bailey that can come in and make such a big impact, so having both of them back there, definitely a big advantage for Boston College this season.
Yeah, we hadn't even seen Pat Garbo, the freshman who they love as well. Willis now steps up, has time. Nice catch on the sideline. No, they're going to rule he's out of bounds. Turner was there, made the grab, but he just couldn't get a foot down.
And those are the things that Boston College has got to know to defend right now. They need to get the ball out of bounds because they need 2 scores in a short amount of time. Great call by the officials. Trey Turner was out of bounds, but he did look okay. That hamstring didn't look to affect him on that, so maybe he had a miraculous comeback and is able to play on that iffy hamstring. Well, right,
Third down and
boy, is this a big play. Let's see if Boston College brings pressure. They're showing it at the bottom of your screen. Now they're dropping off.
Low snap again, handled by Willis. This time he has his receiver open, and it was Caleb Smith who made the catch before Al-Atrak was able to get there. Nice recognition, a good pass.
It's interesting. Bill Sheridan said he didn't want to bring pressure on 3rd down, but it seems like he needs to start bringing some pressure because Ryan Willis is picking apart this deep zone defense.
Now Willis bounces out, tries to find Turner, just overthrows him.
Tate Haynes got a good jam on Trey Turner at the beginning of that play, not allowing him to get deep into the coverage. Because that third of the field was open, but he wasn't able to get out there.
It's Mike Palmer, safety, who's also had a good game. Pitt, Virginia, coming your way next. Virginia Tech is trying to extend this game, make it as long as possible. They need to score on this drive, though, to have any hope. Here's Willis. Ball's tipped. Dangerous. Tried to find McLeese out of the backfield. That ball just sailed away.
That was a missed opportunity for Virginia Tech. Boston College had his 2 inside linebackers mugged up in the line of scrimmage near the center. The running back who they were responsible for covering got out in the flat. He was wide open if that ball didn't get tipped.
McLeese coming out of the backfield now. He's split wide right. 3rd and 10 for the Hokies. Will BC bring pressure? Fans at Alumni Stadium getting into it. Pressure comes. Willis unloads. Nice shot. Hits his receiver. Will he be able to get to the marker? Close. Not quite there, though. Grimsley with a fantastic individual effort. But this is obviously 4-down territory, is it not?
Yeah, no, they have to go for it here on 4th down. If maybe they were 3 or 4 more yards closer, they could think about a field goal. But honestly, right now, a field goal is not going to do much for them. You got the clock still winding down. 5:30 left in this game. You need 2 touchdowns. And this play right here could be the biggest of this game for this offense and Ryan Willis.
4th and 2 for the Hokies. Willis pressure coming, steps up into the pocket. Now he's flushed out. He's got the yard marker in his sights. Dives for it. Let's see where they mark it. I think they're going to mark him short. And Willis can't believe it.
Fuente can't believe it either. We got to see this replay. Let's see if he extended the ball past that line.
Richardson was giving chase. And it's where the ball either goes out of bounds or lands as long as his knee doesn't touch first.
And let's see.
Wow. And they gave the first down to Virginia Tech. That is a matter of millimeters.
Wow, absolutely. I mean, you look at that, and even from the camera angle that we had, it looks like there was a little air between. The ref's kind of like, that's one of those deals where.
It's a credit card one.
Yeah, it's like you're playing
a credit card out of the wall and you put it down there to see if there's any room.
You're playing bocce ball and you're seeing if there's any space between the two balls you throw.
Steve Adazio's played any bocce ball in his life.
Oh, I bet he's a mean bocce ball player.
Deshaun McCleese now split wide. Virginia Tech has new life. Willis gets it to Turner. He's got a blocker. Now he makes a move inside. Pinballs his way to about an 8-yard gain.
This is Virginia Tech's answer right now. They're spreading out Boston College and just dinking and dunking, trying to let their playmakers make some plays. Look for them to take a shot downfield at some point, maybe on 2nd and 2 here.
Clee stays in the block. Goes over the middle, almost picked off. Ooh, John Lamont had his hands on it, just couldn't quite bring it in.
There's the neck roll I love. John Lamont, hard-nosed, physical tackler. He's known for his play in the box, but he's been really good in coverage tonight. And that's very good for Boston College because they're going to rely on these middle linebackers to play coverage against some very powerful and dominant running backs and tight ends in this league.
3rd and 2. Incomplete pass at least stops the clock for the Hokies. Willis now tucks it in. He's going to run for it, and he's going to pick up the first down. That'll stop the clock as well.
I think this was a design quarterback draw. You watch, the running back, McCleese, kind of led up through the middle, clearing way for Ryan Willis to be able to follow him and get enough for that first down. They trust their senior quarterback. They want the ball in his hands late in the game.
Willis trying to find McCleese out of the backfield, just ran out of room, ran out of real estate.
Maximilian Richardson on that coverage. It's not easy to cover running back on a wheel route out of the backfield. He did that with perfection. There he is. We had a conversation with him yesterday. Really impressive young man. He's a golfer. He's a basketball player. He said he wants to be a lawyer when all this football stuff's done. Criminal defense lawyer. Just really an outstanding young man.
Dude's from Georgia, loves golf. He's like, why on earth would you come up here to Boston if you love golf? Play year-round down in Georgia. Here, shut it down for 6 months. 2nd down and 10 now for Virginia Tech. The handoff to McCleese. Stays on his feet, powers his way. Great effort by McCleese. Gets inside the 15. This will bring up yet another big 3rd down. 3rd and about 3.
So right now, yes, they're gaining yards, but the clock is still running, and I think this is going to be an issue eventually for Virginia Tech. Look for max protection, 3-man route down the field, or they're going to hand the ball off at the middle, and again, they're keeping the ball on the ground. And
Zachariah Hoyt, Virginia Tech's starting center, was helped off the field after that last play. This is important. 4th and inches now without your starting center as John Harris has come into the game for the Hokies. What will Willis and company do here? Sneaks it, tries to get a push, now rolls for that first down. Whew.
And that's a tough one. They've gone to that shotgun snap to Willis, but I don't think they wanted to mess around with a shotgun snap with a first play with this new center. We see Willis just kind of roll off the pile. His initial momentum stopped, and then he rolled off the side of the pile.
Good first down for Virginia Tech. They're alive. Turner in motion. The fake. Out to Keene, but a great play defensively. There's that man again, Lamont.
John Lamont, eyes were so good on that play. Everything was telling him play away. He kept his eyes focused on his tight end all the way. John Lamont made the big tackle in the sideline.
Clock winding down. Close to 2 minutes now. Down 2 scores. Willis. Surveying the field. Now comes back around, and a fantastic catch for a touchdown by Smith.
Fantastic job by Smith working back to the ball, providing an outlet for his quarterback. It looked like Boston College had most things covered on the front side of the play. Smith just had that extra effort. Let's look right here. And we see Ryan Willis looking front side, nothing there, nothing open, nothing he goes backside to his 4th receiver. And look at this catch. Full extension, comes down, caresses it on top of his body, and points it up. I got it, coach. Touchdown.
First touchdown by Smith. Couldn't have come at a better time for him.
And now we have 2 minutes left in this game. Virginia Tech down by 1 score. Can they stop Boston College, get the ball back, and get the ball into the end zone?
Fantastic catch by Caleb Smith to make it a 1-score game. Just 2:13 left to go in the contest. So Virginia Tech going to try an onside kick. Ryan Johnson will put it in play. Straight up in the air. This is going to be covered easily by Boston College. Mike Palmer, the safety, making the grab, giving possession to the Eagles with just 2:12 remaining. Now it could be AJ Dillon time, and Virginia Tech knows it. They're just going to stack the box here. Dillon puts his head down and gets a couple.
This is what Boston College has to be careful of. They can't be too predictable here because, yes, they had...
Virginia Tech. That is their 2nd charge for this half. 30 seconds.
You know, they had success last drive moving the ball downfield, and a lot of it was on the ground.
Well, they got the fullback, and they've got number 2 right there, and he just gets back to the line of scrimmage. Maybe doesn't get there, but another timeout, final timeout for Virginia Tech, and now it'll be 3rd down.
That is their 3rd and final timeout of this half.
Well, that's what they're going to try.
Or maybe you can get a 1st down running the ball right up the middle. Good thing I'm not an offensive coordinator. AJ Dillon finds his way through, and let's see how he did it. In maybe the biggest run of the game, not the most exciting, but watch Tyler Vrabel, son of Mike Vrabel, pin number 23, Rashard Ashby, down into the line of scrimmage, allowing A.J. Dillon to skim off his back and spin his way to a Boston College 1st down. And with 1:36 on the clock, and the clock still running, that could be all there is for this Virginia Tech defense.
Bud Foster couldn't believe it. Everybody in the barn knew who was getting the football. He got it, and he got the 1st down. Now it's victory formation for the BC Eagles. Well, they lost 3 in a row to end the season last year before the bowl game. Couldn't get retribution in the bowl game because weather canceled it, and now they get it here to open up 2019.
And A.J. Dillon talked about that lack of play in the bowl game and the fact that it was canceled. The way he viewed it, it was a loss of opportunity to send off his big brothers the right way. He wanted to give them one more great game to remember their BC career. They were not able to do that because of the cancellation, and that's kind of what is in the back of their minds as they started this season. And boy, they were exciting. I'm sure their brothers who left last year are looking and watching this game very pleased with what they left behind.
Well, BC has Richmond next week. Both these teams starting with obviously a tough game to begin the year, and even tougher for Virginia Tech on the road. They get Old Dominion next week at home. You think they're going to be a little bit fired up to exact a little revenge against the Monarchs from what happened last year against Old Dominion on the road and what happens this week against Boston College? Yeah,
no, I think that they're going to be fired up, ready to play. And when adversity strikes, this is what's really going to test the continuity of that Virginia Tech locker room. They talked a lot this offseason how they started coming together as a team, and it's easy to come together as a team when everything's going well. Now that they have a loss under their belt, how do they come together and stay together moving forward? Looking at next week, it's just one more game. This is just one loss in their schedule. They need to look at their eyes forward to that Old Dominion game.
You saw Coach Fuente and Coach Adazio embrace at midfield. Adazio with a word or two for Bud Foster as well in his final season after 33 years as a defensive assistant with this Virginia Tech team. AJ Dillon didn't have a huge day. 81 yards on 23 carries, averaging just 3.5. Did have the touchdown, but he got the big carry when they needed it the most. The big 1st down to salt this one away.
Yeah, and that was a huge play. He didn't have the immense game statistically, but it was when it counted. He had the big run down towards the end zone, spinning the outside, getting the stiff arm, leading to the David Bailey. And he was able to make it count when it counted. It was a good start. We had an exciting game today. We look for many more exciting games on this ACC network going forward. It's been a pleasure. Thank you so much, fans from Boston College in the Heights. We'll see you next time.
The Huddle is next. Jordan, take it away.